Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullah. Bismillah, alhamdulillah, wa salatu wa salamu ala rasulina wa ba'd. All thanks and praise are due to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, and may His peace and blessings be upon His last and final messenger, his family, his companions, and those who follow them until the end of times. Welcome to lesson number 48 of Tafsir al-Jalalayn. Alhamdulillah, yesterday we were able to complete verses 26 to 34 of Surah Al-Nisa. So inshallah today we're going to start off with verse number 35. So I'm going to have our beloved student Abdul Razak recite the paragraph from the Tafsir, after which I will then translate and comment. So go ahead and start us off for today, Ya Abdul Razak. Bismillah.
بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم. قال الإمام السيوطي رحمة الله عليه: وإن خفتم علمتم شقاق خلاف بينهما بين الزوجين، والإضافة للاتساع أي شقاقا بينهما، فبعثوا إليهما برضاهما حكما رجلا عدلا من أهله أقاربه وحكما من أهله، ويوكل الزوج حكمه في طلاق وقبول عوض عليه، وتوكل هي حكمها في الاختلاء، فيجتهدان ويأمران الظالم بالرجوع أو يفرقان إن رأياه. قال تعالى: إن يريد أي الحكمان إصلاحا يوفق الله بينهما بين الزوجين، أي يقدرهما على ما هو الطاعة من إصلاح أو فراق. إن الله كان عليما بكل شيء خبيرا بالبواطن والظواهر.
So in this verse, in verse number 35, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala is encouraging couples to try their best to reconcile their differences. So marriage is an extremely important institution, and every marriage should be healthy, wholesome, and sound. It should be built upon the foundations of taqwa, of mutual care and concern, of mawadda, of love and mercy. But sometimes it doesn't work out. Sometimes there are issues, sometimes there are problems. And here in this verse, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala is giving the couple guidance on one way of reconciling their differences. That if they happen to reach a turning point in their marriage, like a crossing point, they come across this crossroads, that they're at this point that they're about, at the brink of divorce, but they still want to try to work things out, then the man should appoint a hakam from his family. The woman should appoint a hakam from her family, like an arbiter, someone who can settle their dispute. And they should all get together at the table and sit and discuss. And Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala says, if they truly want to rectify their matter, if they truly want to fix the problem and reconcile, then Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala will grant them the tawfiq to do so. So Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala says, وَإِنْ خِفْتُمْ شِقَاقَ بَيْنِهِمَا فَابْعَثُوا حَكَمًا مِّنْ أَهْلِهِ وَحَكَمًا مِّنْ أَهْلِهَا إِنْ يُرِيدَا إِصْلَاحًا يُوَفِّقِ اللَّهُ بَيْنَهُمَا إِنَّ اللَّهَ كَانَ عَلِيمًا خَبِيرًا. If you anticipate a split between them, if you fear a split between them, appoint a mediator from his family and another from hers. If they desire reconciliation, Allah will restore harmony between them. Surely Allah is all-knowing, all-aware. So here Imam al-Suyuti rahimahullah says, وَإِنْ خِفْتُمْ عَلِمْتُمْ شِقَاقَ خِلَافَ بَيْنِهِمَا. If you fear a split between them. And here khiftum, it's translated as fear, and Imam Suyuti explains it as alimtum, if you know, right? If you fear and your fear is leading towards a level of knowing, shiqaq baynihima, shiqaq, a split between them, khilaf baynihima, a dispute or disagreement between them. So if you fear a split or a disagreement between them, baynihima, the dhamir of the dual, right? This pronoun that's indicating towards two people. Who are they? Bayn az-zawjayn, between the spouses, between the husband and the wife. Then he says, وَالْإِضَافَةُ لِلْإِتِّسَاعِ. Here he's explaining a grammatical point, that the word shiqaq grammatically is mudaf, and the word bayn is the mudaf ilay. He's saying this is وَالْإِضَافَةُ لِلْإِتِّسَاعِ. Yani it is the word shiqaq is being mudaf to the dharf al-ittisa'i. Like people say, Ya sariq al-layla, that, O stealer of the night. But it doesn't mean they're stealing the night, it means they're stealing during the night. Right? So over here it's the same thing. يعني فإن خفتم شقاق. Right? It should be شقاق بينهما or شقاقا بينهما. So the idafa is للاتساع. أي شقاقا بينهما. And then here himself he explains what that means. That if you fear a split, if you fear a conflict between the two spouses, فَبَعَثُوا حَكَمًا مِّنْ أَهْلِهِ وَحَكَمًا مِّنْ أَهْلِهَا. Then appoint a mediator, an arbitrator from his family and another from hers. فَبَعَثُوا إِلَيْهِمَا. Send towards them بِرِضَاهِمَا, but with their consent. Right? Send towards them with their consent حَكَمًا رَجُلًا عَدْلًا. So here Imam al-Suyuti is explaining and clarifying that the hakam, the arbitrator or the mediator, should be an upright man. من أهله أقاربه, from his family, from his relatives. وحكما من أهلها, and another mediator, another arbitrator from her family. ويوكل الزوج حكمه في طلاق. And the husband should appoint his hakam. He should appoint his mediator as his agent in terms of divorce. وَقَبُولِ عِوَضٍ عَلَيْهِ, and also as an agent to accept something in exchange for granting a divorce, meaning if they decide to do khula'. وَتُوَكِّلُ هِيَ حَكَمَهَا فِي الْإِخْتِلَاعِ, and she should appoint her hakam, her mediator, as her agent to seek a khula'. فَيَجْتَهِدَانِ, right? And then they should strive and put in the work to reconcile and settle the differences. وَيَأْمُرَانِ الظَّالِمَ بِالرُّجُوعِ, and he should tell the one who's wrong in this to go back, to rectify and fix their affair. أو يفرقان إن رأياه, or they should separate if they see and deem that is what is appropriate. Right? قال تعالى إن يريدا, if they both want, أي الحكمان. Now Imam al-Suyuti, he's saying that this verb is referring to the hakam. It's referring to the mediators. But other mufassirun mention that no, it's actually referring to the spouses themselves. It's referring to the husband and wife. إن يريدا, so both interpretations can be taken. There's no conflict between them. That if the mediators intend to rectify, if the mediators want to reconcile, if they desire reconciliation, if they want to bring about harmony, or if both partners, if both husband and wife want to bring about reconciliation. So إن يريد أي الحكمان, if the mediators want إصلاحا, they want to rectify, they want to reconcile, they want to set things right, يوفق الله بينهما, Allah will bring about harmony between them, or Allah will restore harmony between them. بين الزوجين, meaning between the two spouses. أي يقدرهما على ما هو طاعة من إصلاح أو فراق. Right? يقدرهما, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala will decree for them what is considered to be obedience in terms of bringing about harmony, right? In terms of setting things right, or leading towards separation. Whatever is better for them. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala will give them the tawfiq to pick what's the right decision. إِنَّ اللَّهَ كَانَ عَلِيمًا بِكُلِّ شَيْءٍ. Truly Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala is all knowing of everything. خَبِيرًا, and all aware. بِالْبَوَاطِنِ, He's all aware of what is internal, وَالظَّوَاهِرِ, and what is external. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala is all aware of of what the people keep secret and of what people expose and display as well. So bawatin is the plural of batin, which means internal, and dhawahir is the plural of zahir, which means external. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala is all aware of a person's situation and scenario, whether internal affairs or external affairs. So again, this is a very, very important verse that is giving guidance to couples on how to reach some sort of compromise, on how to reconcile their differences. That if they have reached a point where it is feared that they are going to separate, that is going to lead towards a divorce, and they want to try one last thing to save their marriage, then each party should bring a mediator. Each party should bring an arbiter that can come and they can all sit at the table and discuss and try to reconcile the differences. And if their intentions are pure and sincere, if they truly want to reconcile and set things right, then Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala will grant them the tawfiq to do so. Go ahead and read for us the next paragraph. Bismillah.
قال رحمه الله واعبدوا الله وحدوه ولا تشركوا به شيئا وأحسنوا بالوالدين إحسانا برا ولين جانب وبذي القربى القرابة واليتامى والمساكين والجار ذي القربى القريب منك في الجوار أو النسب والجار الجنب البعيد عنك في الجوار أو النسب والصاحب بالجنب الرفيق في سفر أو صناعة وقيل الزوجة وابن السبيل المنقطع في سفره وما ملكت أيمانكم من الأرقاء إن الله لا يحب من كان مختالا متكبرا فخورا على الناس بما أوتي.
Here Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala is mentioning and addressing the believers, saying وَاعْبُدُوا اللَّهَ وَلَا تُشْرِكُوا بِهِ شَيْئًا. Worship Allah alone and associate none with Him. وَبِالْوَالِدَيْنِ إِحْسَانًا. And be good to parents, and be kind to parents. وَبِذِي الْقُرْبَى وَالْيَتَامَى وَالْمَسَاكِينِ وَالْجَارِ ذِي الْقُرْبَى وَالْجَارِ الْجُنُبِ وَالصَّاحِبِ بِالْجَنْبِ وَابْنِ السَّبِيلِ وَمَا مَلَكَتْ أَيْمَانُكُمْ إِنَّ اللَّهَ لَا يُحِبُّ مَنْ كَانَ مُخْتَالًا فَخُورًا. Be kind to parents, relatives, orphans, the poor, near and distant neighbors, close friends, travelers, and those in your possession. Surely Allah does not like whoever is arrogant, boastful, or arrogant and proud. So here Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala is addressing the believers and giving them guidance in terms of ibadah, in terms of worship, but also in terms of taking care of certain people, in terms of model behavior towards one's parents and relatives and orphans and the needy and neighbors, etc. So here Imam As-Suyuti Rahmah says, وَاعْبُدُوا اللَّهِ, and worship Allah. وَحِدُوهُ, affirm His oneness. Right? Affirm the oneness of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala through worship. وَلَا تُشْرِكُوا بِهِ شَيْئًا, and don't associate anything with Him. And don't associate anything with Him. وَأَحْسِنُوا بِالْوَالِدَيْنِ إِحْسَانًا, and be kind to your parents. Do good to your parents. Right? Birran. Right? Be dutiful, respectful to your parents. وَلِينَ جَانِبٍ. Lina janib here means بِأَنْ يَقُومَ بِخِدْمَتِهِمَا. Serve them as well. وَلَا يَرْفَعْ صَوْتَهُ عَلَيْهِمَا. Don't raise your voice against them. Right? Be kind to them, be respectful, serve them, treat them, honor them, don't disrespect them. So وَأَحْسِنُوا بِالْوَالِدَيْنِ إِحْسَانًا. And this is a very, very important concept of birrul walidain, of being respectful and dutiful to one's parents. وَبِذِي الْقُرْبَى, يعني وَأَحْسِنُوا بِذِي الْقُرْبَى. And also be kind and be good to relatives. Al-Qaraba, your relatives. وَالْيَتَامَى, and the orphans. وَالْمَسَاكِينِ, and the poor and needy. وَالْجَارِ ذِي الْقُرْبَى, and your close neighbor, that is one meaning, or it can mean your neighbor that's your relative as well. Right? وَالْجَارِ ذِي الْقُرْبَى الْقَرِيبِ مِنْكَ فِي الْجِوَارِ أَوْ النَّسَبِ. The neighbor that is close to you, meaning like your next door neighbor, or the neighbor that lives right across the street from you, or the neighbor that lives right behind you, right? So al-qarib minka fil jiwar, the one who lives close to you in terms of like your residence, aw al-nasab, or the one who's close to you in terms of lineage, meaning they're actually your relatives. Wal jaril junubi, and also the distant neighbor. Maybe someone that lives in your neighborhood, right? Maybe they're not your next door neighbor, but they live down the block. But be kind to them as well. Al-ba'idi anka fil jiwari aw al-nasab. And same thing, either in terms of distance or in terms of being your relative, in terms of relationship. So here Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala is encouraging kindness. Kindness in one's speech, one's behavior, one's attitude towards your parents, relatives, orphans, near neighbors, distant neighbors. وَالصَّاحِبِ بِالْجَمْ. صَاحِبِ بِالْجَمْ is translated as the companion at your side. Right? The companion at your side. What that means is your traveling buddy. Right? The person who's traveling with you. Like someone who's sitting next to you on the plane, or someone who's sitting next to you on the bus or the train, or whatever it may be. وَالصَّاحِبِ بِالْجَنْبِ الرَّفِيقِ فِي سَفَرٍ. Right, your friend, your companion on a journey. أو صناعة, or your co-worker. Right, your companion in your profession, in your manufacturing profession. وَقِيلَ الزَّوْجَةِ. Others say it can also mean your wife. So the general principle is do ihsan to everyone. Right. وَابْنِ السَّبِيلِ, the traveler. الْمُنْقَطِعِ فِي سَفَرِهِ, who has been cut off from his provisions on his journey. وَمَا مَلَكَتْ أَيْمَانُكُمْ, and what your right hands possess, meaning your slaves. مِنَ الْأَرِقَّاءِ, right, in terms of your slaves. إِنَّ اللَّهَ لَا يُحِبُّ مَنْ كَانَ مُخْتَالًا مُتَكَبِّرًا. Truly Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala does not like whoever is arrogant. فَخُورًا, and boastful. عَلَى النَّاسِ بِمَا أُوتِيَ. They boast to people about what they have been given. So again, this is also a very significant, very important verse that is bringing together حقوقullah and حقوقul ibad. That the haqq of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala is that we worship Him alone without any partners. We affirm His oneness, we worship Him, we don't associate anything with Him. And in terms of حقوقul ibad, we are fulfilling our responsibilities to all of these different categories and members of society. Whether it's, again, our parents, our relatives, the orphan, the poor, right, our near neighbors, our distant neighbors, the person that's traveling with me, working with me, my classmate, my friend, my wife, etc. A traveler that has been cut off from his provisions, and people that are under your authority and under your care, such as your slaves. إِنَّ اللَّهَ لَا يُحِبُّ مَنْ كَانَ مُخْتَالًا. Truly Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala does not love those who are arrogant. مُتَكَبِّرًا. And fakhura, and those who have a lot of fakhr, those who have a lot of pride, and they boast and they show off. عَلَى النَّاسِ بِمَا أُوتِيَ. So this is also a warning against having pride, kibr, and having arrogance as well. Now go ahead and read the next paragraph for us. Bismillah.
قال رحمه الله الذين مبتدأ يبخلون بما يجب عليهم ويأمرون الناس بالبخل به ويكتمون ما آتاهم الله من فضله من العلم والمال وهم اليهود. وخبر المبتدأ لهم وعيد شديد وأعتدنا للكافرين بذلك وبغيره عذابا مهينا ذو إهانة. والذين عطف على الذين قبله ينفقون أموالهم رئاء الناس مرائين لهم ولا يؤمنون بالله ولا باليوم الآخر كالمنافقين وأهل مكة. ومن يكن الشيطان له قرينا صاحبا يعمل بأمره كهؤلاء فساء بئس قرينه.
In this next verse, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala tells us الذين يبخلون ويأمرون الناس بالبخل ويكتمون ما آتاهم الله من فضله وأعتدنا للكافرين عذابا مهينا. Those who are stingy promote stinginess among people and withhold Allah's bounties. We have prepared for the disbelievers a humiliating punishment. So here Imam al-Suyuti says الذين مبتدأ. Grammatically speaking, this relative pronoun is serving the role of the subject of the sentence. الذين مبتدأ يبخلون. Those who are stingy. بما يجب عليهم. They are stingy with what is mandatory upon them, meaning they're not paying their zakah, they're not paying the obligatory charity, or they're not taking care of those they have to take care of financially. وَيَأْمُرُونَ النَّاسَ بِالْبُخْلِ بِهِ. Not only are they stingy themselves, but they command people to be stingy as well. They promote stinginess among people. وَيَكْتُمُونَ مَا آتَاهُمُ اللَّهُ مِنْ فَضْلِهِ. And withhold Allah's bounties, and conceal what Allah has given them of His grace. وَيَكْتُمُونَ, they conceal, they hide. مَا آتَاهُمُ اللَّهُ, what Allah has given them, مِنْ فَضْلِهِ, from His grace. مِنَ الْعِلْمِ وَالْمَالِ, in terms of knowledge and wealth. وَهُمُ الْيَهُودِ. Imam Suyuti rahimahullah says this is referring to the Yahud. وَخَبَرُ الْمُبْتَدَأ, the predicate of the subject is لَهُمْ وَعِيدٌ شَدِيد. For them is a severe warning. وَأَعْتَدْنَا لِلْكَافِرِينَ, and we have prepared for the non-believers عَذَابًا مُهِينًا, a humiliating punishment. وَأَعْتَدْنَا لِلْكَافِرِينَ بِذَلِكَ وَبِغَيْرِ, and we have prepared for the non-believers بِذَلِكَ, with those things that were just mentioned, وَبِغَيْرِهِ, and other things, عَذَابًا مُهِينًا ذَا إِهَانَةٍ, a humiliating punishment, meaning a punishment that will humiliate them. وَالَّذِينَ يُنْفِقُونَ أَمْوَالَهُمْ رِئَاءَ النَّاسِ وَلَا يُؤْمِنُونَ بِاللَّهِ وَلَا بِالْيَوْمِ الْآخِرِ وَمَنْ يَكُنِ الشَّيْطَانُ لَهُ قَرِينًا فَسَاءَ قَرِينًا. Likewise, for those who spend their wealth to show off and don't believe in Allah or the last day, and whoever takes Satan as a companion, what an evil companion they have. So وَالَّذِينَ, he highlights grammatically, this is عطف على الذين قبله. Right, this is connected to the الذين that came before in the previous verse, which is الذين, the beginning. الذين يبخلون والذين ينفقون أموالهم رئاء الناس. And also those who spend their wealth to show off to people. So وَالَّذِينَ عَطْفٌ عَلَى الَّذِينَ قَبْلَهُ يُنْفِقُونَ أَمْوَالَهُم. They spend their wealth رِئَاءَ النَّاسِ, ostentatiously, showing off to people. مُرَائِينَ لَهُم, right, showing off to them. وَلَا يُؤْمِنُونَ بِاللَّهِ وَلَا بِالْيَوْمِ الْآخِرِ. And they don't believe in Allah and they don't believe in the last day. كَالْمُنَافِقِينَ وَأَهْلِ مَكَّةِ. Like the hypocrites and the people of Mecca, the mushrikun. وَمَنْ يَكُنِ الشَّيْطَانُ لَهُ قَرِينًا. Right? And whoever or anyone for whom Satan is a companion, and whoever takes Satan as a companion, صاحبا, right? يَعْمَلُ بِأَمْرِهِ كَهَؤُلَى. They act according to his commands, كَهَؤُلَى, like these people that have been described in these two verses. فَسَاءَ قَرِينًا. بِئْسَ قَرِينًا هُوَ. What an evil companion he is. What an evil associate he is. Alright, so go ahead and read the next page of the Mus'haf for us tilawatan, followed by that first paragraph. Bismillah.
أعوذ بالله من الشيطان الرجيم. والذين ينفقون أموالهم رئاء الناس ولا يؤمنون بالله ولا باليوم الآخر ومن يكن الشيطان له قرينا فساء قرينا. وماذا عليهم لو آمنوا بالله واليوم الآخر وأنفقوا مما رزقهم الله وكان الله بهم عليما. إن الله لا يظلم مثقال ذرة وإن تك حسنة يضاعفها ويؤت من لدنه أجرا عظيما. فكيف إذا جئنا من كل أمة بشهيد وجئنا بك على هؤلاء شهيدا. يومئذ يود الذين كفروا وعصوا الرسول لو تسوى بهم الأرض ولا يكتمون الله حديثا. يا أيها الذين آمنوا لا تقربوا الصلاة وأنتم سكارى حتى تعلموا ما تقولون ولا جنبا إلا عابري سبيل حتى تغتسلوا. وإن كنتم مرضى أو على سفر أو جاء أحد منكم من الغائط أو لامستم النساء فلم تجدوا ماء فتيمموا صعيدا طيبا فامسحوا بوجوهكم وأيديكم إن الله كان عفوا غفورا. ألم تر إلى الذين أوتوا نصيبا من الكتاب يشترون الضلالة ويريدون أن تضلوا السبيل. قال رحمه الله: وماذا عليهم لو آمنوا بالله واليوم الآخر وأنفقوا مما رزقهم الله، أي ضرر عليهم في ذلك؟ والاستفهام للإنكار ولو مصدرية، أي لا ضرر فيه، وإنما الضرر فيما هم عليه. وكان الله بهم عليما فيجازيهم بما عملوا. إن الله لا يظلم أحدا مثقال وزن ذرة أصغر نملة بأن ينقصها من حسناته أو يزيدها في سيئاته. وإن تك الذرة حسنة من مؤمن، وفي قراءة بالرفع فكانت تامة يضاعفها من 10 إلى أكثر من 700، وفي قراءة يضاعفها بالتشديد ويؤتي من لدنه من عنده مع المضاعفة أجرا عظيما لا يقدره أحد. فكيف حال الكفار إذا جئنا من كل أمة بشهيد يشهد عليها بعملها وجئنا بك يا محمد على هؤلاء شهيدا؟ يومئذ يوم المجيء يود الذين كفروا وعصوا الرسول لو، أي أن تسوى بالبناء للمفعول وللفاعل مع حذف إحدى التائين في الأصل ومع إدغامها في السين، أي تتسوى بهم الأرض بأن يكونوا ترابا مثلها لعظام هوله. كما في آية أخرى ويقول الكافر يا ليتني كنت ترابا ولا يكتمون الله حديثا عما عملوا وفي وقت آخر يكتمونه والله ربنا ما كنا مشركين.
In this next verse, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala poses this rhetorical question to the people that are described in the previous two verses, meaning those who were stingy and did not spend and promoted stinginess as well, or those who spent their money ostentatiously, those who gave charity but they did to show off, and they didn't really believe in Allah, nor did they believe in the hereafter. So Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala poses this question to them, وَمَاذَا عَلَيْهِمْ لَوْ آمَنُوا بِاللَّهِ وَالْيَوْمِ الْآخِرِ وَأَنْفَقُوا مِمَّا رَزَقَهُمُ اللَّهُ وَكَانَ اللَّهُ بِهِمْ عَلِيمًا. What harm could have come to them if they had believed in Allah and the last day and donated from what Allah has provided for them, and Allah has perfect knowledge of them? What harm was there for them if they had believed in Allah in the last day and spent out of what Allah had given them? Allah knows all about them, meaning there's no harm in that. What was the big deal? Why couldn't they just believe in Allah and the last day and then spend for the sake of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala? So وَمَاذَا عَلَيْهِمْ, right? What harm was there for them? What harm could have come to them? لَوْ آمَنُوا بِاللَّهِ وَالْيَوْمِ الْآخِرِ, if they had believed in Allah and the last day. وَأَنْفَقُوا مِمَّا رَزَقَهُمُ اللَّهِ, and had spent from that which Allah had given to them. أَيْ ضَرَرٍ عَلَيْهِمْ فِي ذَلِكَ, what harm upon them was there in that? Right? أَيُّ ضَرَرٍ عَلَيْهِمْ فِي ذَلِكَ, what harm upon them is there in that? وَالْإِسْتِفْهَامُ لِلْإِنْكَارِ, right? This is a rhetorical question. This question is to do inkar, right? To negate and to oppose and to reject. وَلَوْ مَصْدَرِيَةٌ, and he highlights that the low here, لَوْ آمَنُوا بِاللَّهِ, is grammatically لَوْ مَصْدَرِيَةٌ أي لَا ضَرَرَ فِيهِ, and the meaning being conveyed is there's no harm in that. وَإِنَّمَا الضَّرَرُ فِي مَا هُمْ عَلَيْهِ, the actual harm is in what they are upon, in terms of their stinginess and promoting stinginess, and in terms of their not believing in Allah and the last day and spending just to show off. وَكَانَ اللَّهُ بِهِمْ عَلِيمًا, Allah knows all about them and Allah has perfect knowledge of them. فَيُجَازِيهِمْ بِمَا عَمِلُوا, so He will repay them for what they have done. He will recompense them for what they have done. Then Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala highlights that this punishment that they will receive in the hereafter is not a form of dhulm whatsoever. They are receiving punishment as a consequence, as a result of their own choices, as a result of their own conscious decisions. So Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala says, إِنَّ اللَّهَ لَا يَظْلِمُ مِثْقَالَ ذَرَّةٍ وَإِن تَكُ حَسَنَةً يُضَاعِفْهَا وَيُؤْتِ مِن لَدُنْهُ أَجْرًا عَظِيمًا. Indeed, Allah never wrongs anyone, even by an atom's weight. Surely Allah does not wrong anyone, even to the measure of a particle. And if it is a good deed, He will multiply it many times over, and will give a great reward out of His grace. So, إِنَّ اللَّهَ لَا يَظْلِمُ أَحَدًا, truly Allah does not wrong anyone. مِثْقَالَ, the amount, wazna, the weight, ذَرَّةٍ, of a particle. Even the weight of a particle. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala does not wrong anyone, even the weight, even the measure of a particle. Then he clarifies, what does dharra mean? He says, ذَرَّةٍ أَصْغَرِ نَمْلَةٍ, that linguistically it can be referring to the smallest ant. Right? أَصْغَرِ نَمْلَةٍ. And others say that it's even more smaller than that. أي الصغير جدا من أجزاء التراب, meaning the smallest particle of sand, or the smallest particle of dust. And others say dharra is the dust particles you see in a beam of light. Like if the room is dark and there's a beam of light streaming into the room, and you look into that beam of light, you see these small particles of dust floating around, that is a dharra. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala doesn't wrong anyone even to that extent, even to that amount. بِأَنْ يَنْقُصَهَا مِنْ حَسَنَاتِهِ أَوْ يَزِيدَهَا فِي سَيِّئَاتِهِ, by adding that much or taking that much away from their good deeds, or adding that much to their bad deeds. So Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala does not wrong any human being in any way, shape or form. وَإِن تَكُ الذَّرَّةُ حَسَنَةً, And if that small particle is a good deed, min mu'minin, from a believer, وفي قراءة بالرفع, in another qira'ah, instead of hasanatan in the state of nasab, it's recited hasanatun in the state of rafa'. فكان تامة, and in that case the verb kana will not be min af'al naqisa, it will be from af'al tamma, it's a complete verb. يضاعفها, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala will multiply its reward. He will multiply that hasana. Min ashrin, right? He will multiply it by 10, ila akthara min 700, to more than 700 times more. وفي قراءة يضاعفها بالتشديد. In another recitation, instead of being from ضاعف يضاعف, instead of the verb being from باب المفاعلة, it is from باب التفعيل. يضاعفها بالتشديد. And they both mean the same thing, to multiply. ويؤتي من لدنه أجرا عظيما. And he will give a great reward out of his grace. ويؤتي من لدن, he will give من عنده, right, from himself, from his grace. مع المضاعفة, with that multiplication, أجرا عظيما, great reward. لا يقدره أحد, it is so great that no one can quantify it, no one can measure it. Then Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala poses this question: فكيف إذا جئنا من كل أمة بشهيد وجئنا بك على هؤلاء شهيدا. So how will it be when we bring a witness from every faith community and bring you, O Prophet, as a witness against them? Then how would it be when we shall bring a witness from every community and shall bring you over them as a witness? And this is the verse where the Prophet ﷺ then told the companion to stop reciting. And when the companion looked up, he saw that the Prophet ﷺ's eyes were flowing with tears because of the station and status that is being given to the Prophet ﷺ, this honor and this fadl. And also it's related to the Day of Judgment. فَكَيْفَ حَالُ الْكُفَّارِ, right? What will the state and condition of the non-believers be? إِذَا جِئْنَا مِنْ كُلِّ أُمَّةٍ بِشَهِيدٍ, when we bring a witness from every ummah, from every community, يَشْهَدُ عَلَيْهَا بِعَمَلِهَا, right, testifying against them with their actions. وَجِئْنَا بِكَ يَا مُحَمَّدُ صَلَّى اللَّهُ عَلَيْهِ وسلم, and we bring you, O Muhammad صلى الله عليه وسلم, عَلَى هَؤُلَاءِ شَهِيدًا, as a witness over all of them. يَوْمَئِذٍ يَوَدُّ الَّذِينَ كَفَرُوا وَعَصَوُا الرَّسُولَ لَوْ تُسَوَّى بِهِمُ الْأَرْضُ وَلَا يَكْتُمُونَ اللَّهَ حَدِيثًا. On that day, those who denied Allah and disobeyed the Messenger will wish they were reduced to dust, and they will never be able to hide anything from Allah. Right? Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, again, He's asking this question to describe the state and condition of the non-believers on the Day of Judgment. That they're going to be resurrected from their graves, they'll be standing before Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, waiting for judgment, they're going to be held accountable, and Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala will bring witnesses against them from their own communities. And then over all of them, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala will bring the Prophet sallallahu alaihi wasallam as a witness. يَوْمَئِذٍ, on that day. يَوْمَ الْمَجِيء, on the day that everyone will be brought, and all those witnesses will be brought. يَوَدُّ الَّذِينَ كَفَرُوا, those who disbelieved will wish. Right? Those who disbelieved will wish. وَعَصَوُا الرَّسُولِ, so those who disbelieved and disobeyed the Messenger will wish. لَوْ تُسَوَّى بِهِمُ الْأَرْضِ, that they were reduced to dust, that the earth were leveled with them. Right? تُسَوَّى بِهِمُ الْأَرْضِ, الْأَرْضُ تُسَوَّى, yani that the earth would be leveled with them, meaning they would be turned into dust like the earth. So A, أن تسوى بالبناء للمفعول, it is read in the passive voice, تسوى. وللفاعل, it's also read in the active voice, تسوى. مع حذف إحدى التائين في الأصل, with one of the two tas being omitted from the original verb, because the original verb is تسوى يتسوى. So the present tense should have been تتسوى, but one of them is omitted. وَمَعَ إِدْغَامِهَا فِي السِّينِ, and one qira'ah has تَسَوَّى, that one of the tas is omitted and it gets assimilated into the sin. And then he says, أي تتسوى, the actual verb was تتسوى. بهم الأرض بأن يكونوا ترابا مثلها. Right? On that day, those who have disbelieved and disobeyed the messenger shall wish that the earth were leveled with them. How? بأن يكونوا ترابا. By being dirt, by being dust, مثلها, like the earth. لعظم هوله, because of the severity of its terror. Right? Because of the severity of the terror of that day. كما في آية أخرى, as is mentioned in another verse in Surah An-Naba, وَيَقُولُ الْكَافِرُ يَا لَيْتَنِي كُنْتُ تُرَابًا. That the non-believer on the day of judgment will say, oh, how I wish I were dirt. Oh, how I wish I was dust. وَلَا يَكْتُمُونَ اللَّهَ حَدِيثًا. And they shall not be able to conceal anything from Allah. They will never be able to hide anything from Allah. عَمَّا عَمِلُوهُ, in terms of what they have done. وَفِي وَقْتٍ آخَرٍ يَكْتُمُونَهُ. And at another time, they try to conceal it. They try to hide it by saying, وَاللَّهِ رَبِّنَا مَا كُنَّا مُشْرِكِينَ. That when they are accused of shirk, and when they're shown that they've done shirk, they're going to try to hide it by saying, وَاللَّهِ رَبِّنَا, by Allah our Lord, مَا كُنَّا مُشْرِكِينَ, we were never polytheists, we never associated partners with you. Now, go ahead and read the next paragraph. Bismillah.
قال رحمه الله يا أيها الذين آمنوا لا تقربوا الصلاة أي لا تصلوا وأنتم سكارى من الشراب لأن سبب نزولها صلاة جماعة في حال السكر حتى تعلموا ما تقولون بأن تصحوا ولا جنبا بإلاج أو إنزال ونصبه على الحال وهو يطلق على المفرد وغيره إلا عابري مجتازي سبيل الطريق أي مسافرين حتى تغتسلوا فلكم أن تصلوا واستثنى المسافر لأن له حكما آخر سيأتي وقيل المراد النهي عن قربان مواضع الصلاة المساجد إلا عبورها من غير مكث وإن كنتم مرضا يضره الماء أو على سفر أي مسافرين وأنتم جنب أو محدثون أو جاء أحد منكم من الغائط هو المكان المعد لقضاء الحاجة أي أحدث أو لامستم النساء في قراءة بلا ألف وكلاهما بمعنى من اللمس وهو الجس باليد قاله ابن عمر وعليه الشافعي وألحق به الجس بباقي البشرة وعن ابن عباس هو الجماع فلم تجدوا ماء تطهرن به للصلاة بعد الطلب والتفتيش وهو راجع إلى ما عدا المرضى فتيمموا اقصدوا بعد دخول الوقت صعيدا طيبا ترابا طاهرا واضربوا به ضربتين فامسحوا بوجوهكم وأيديكم إلى المرفقين منه ومسح يتعدى بنفسه وبالحرف إن الله كان عفوا غفورا.
In this next verse, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala addresses the believers directly and highlights some legal rulings and injunctions related to salah and tahara, related to prayer as well as purification in terms of being in a state of major ritual impurity and also in terms of being in the state of minor ritual impurity. And it also mentions the ruling of at-tayammum, of dry ablution. That if a person does not have access to water, or if water is available but they're unable to use it, then there's a replacement for doing wudu, and there's a replacement for performing ghusl, which is known as at-tayammum. So Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala starts by saying, Ya ayyuhal ladhina amanu, la taqrabu as-salata wa antum sukara, hatta ta'lamu ma taqulun. O you who believe, do not approach prayer. Don't come near to prayer while intoxicated until you are aware of what you say. Now this first part of the verse was later abrogated by the total prohibition of intoxicants that is mentioned later on. So this was in the earlier days of Islam, before the total prohibition of consuming intoxicants. So the sababun nuzul that is narrated is ruya an Ali ibn Abi Talib. It's narrated from Ali radiyallahu anhu, karramallahu wajhahu, قال صنع أو صنع لنا ابن عوف طعاما. That Ibn Auf radiyallahu anhu had prepared some food for us. فأكلنا, so we ate it. وأسقانا خمرا, and then he gave us wine to drink. Again, this is before the prohibition of wine, before it was declared to be totally and completely unlawful. Right? And he highlights قبل أن تحرم, right? Before it was prohibited and made unlawful. فأخذت منا. Right? Yani they got a little bit buzzed off of it. They got a little bit intoxicated from it. وحضرت الصلاة, and it was time for prayer. And he says, صلاة المغرب. فقدموني, so they put me forward to lead. فقرأت قل يا أيها الكافرون. And he says, I started reciting Surah al-Kafirun, and I made mistakes in it. Right? فنزلت الآية. So this following verse was revealed, that يا أيها الذين آمنوا لا تقربوا الصلاة وأنتم سكارى حتى تعلموا ما تقولون. That, O you who believe, do not come close to prayer while you're intoxicated until you know what you're saying. But again, this is mansukh. This is abrogated by the verse that declares intoxicants to be totally and completely forbidden. Na'am. Which is in Surah Al-Ma'idah. So Imam Suyuti rahimahullah writes, Ya ayyuha alladhina amanu, O you who have believed, La taqrabu salata, don't come close to prayer. Don't approach prayer. La tusallu. It means don't pray. Wa antum sukara, while you are intoxicated. Min ash-sharabi, from intoxicating drinks. لأن سبب نزولها صلاة جماعة في حال السكر. Because the cause of revelation of this verse was congregational prayer while being drunk. As mentioned and narrated by Ali radiallahu anhu. حتى تعلموا ما تقولون, until you know what you're saying. بأن تصحوا, meaning until you become sober. ولا جنوبا. Alright, so that's one ruling. And we say that ruling is abrogated. But Allah also says, ولا جنوبا, that don't pray while in the state of major ritual impurity. بإيلاج أو إنزال. And here Imam Suyuti very briefly highlights two instances where a person will be in the state of major ritual impurity. One is بإيلاج. Right? Ilaj actually means to penetrate during the act of intimacy. So through penetration, one becomes in the state of janaba. They will be in the state of major ritual impurity. Aw inzalin, which is ejaculation, which will also take a person into the state of major ritual impurity. So once they're in a state of major ritual impurity, the way that state is lifted is by performing ghusl. Right? Is by performing this ritual bath. وَنَصْبُهُ عَلَى الْحَالِ. And the word junuban is mansub. It's in the state of nasab because it's playing the role of the circumstantial adverb. وَهُوَ يُطْلَقُ عَلَى الْمُفْرَدِ وَغَيْرِهِ. And the word junub is used for the singular and others as well. Can also be used for the plural. إِلَّا عَابِرِي سَبِيلٍ. Right, it says, nor in a state of major impurity, save when you are traversing a way. Right, unless you merely pass through, حَتَّى تَغْتَسِلُوا, until you bathe. So again, the ruling is لَا تَقْرَبُوا الصَّلَاةِ. Don't come close to prayer. The first is وَأَنْتُمْ سُكَارَى, while you're drunk, until you become sober. The second, don't come close to prayer, meaning don't pray, right? If you're in a state of major ritual impurity, until you bathe. So إِلَّا عَابِرِي, then he gives an exception. إِلَّا عَابِرِي سَبِيلٍ, unless you are traversing a way, right? Unless you're passing through. So عَابِري means to pass. Mujtazi, same thing, to pass. Sabilin, a path. Tariqin, ay musafirin, meaning if you're traveling a path. And what that means is that, generally speaking, the majority of fuqaha and the jumhur say that it is not permissible for a person in a state of major ritual impurity to enter into the masjid. Right? And some fuqaha give the exception based off this, unless they're simply passing through. Right? Unless they're simply passing through the masjid, then it would be permissible to do so. And that is the opinion of Imam al-Shafi'i rahimahullah. So إِلَّا عَابِرِي مُجْتَازِي سَبِيلٍ طَرِيقٍ أَيْ مُسَافِرِينَ حَتَّى تَغْتَسِلُوا, until you bathe. فَلَكُمْ أَن تُصَلُّوا. So after you bathe, after you take your ghusl, then you can pray. وَاسْتَثْنَى الْمُسَافِرَ لِأَنَّ لَهُ حُكْمًا آخَرَ سَيَأْتِي. And Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala has excluded the traveler because there's a different ruling for him which is about to come. Right? Which is about to come. وَقِيل, and it is said, الْمُرَادُ النَّهْيُ عَنْ قُرْبَانِ مَوَاضِعِ الصَّلَاةِ الْمَسَاجِدِ. What is meant, the intended meaning, is prohibiting coming close to the places of prayer, meaning the masajid. إِلَّا عُبُورَهَا مِنْ غَيْرِ مَكْثٍ, except going through them without remaining. Right? Crossing through them, passing through them, without remaining in them. Which is the opinion of Imam al-Shafi'i, rahimahullah. وَإِن كُنْتُم مَرْضَى أَوْ عَلَى سَفَرٍ أَوْ جَاءَ أَحَدٌ مِّنكُم مِّنَ الْغَائِطِ أَوْ لَامَسْتُمُ النِّسَاءَ فَلَمْ تَجِدُوا مَاءً فَتَيَمَّمُوا صَعِيدًا طَيِّبًا فَامْسَحُوا بِوُجُوهِكُمْ وَأَيْدِيكُمْ إِنَّ اللَّهَ كَانَ عَفُوًّا غَفُورًا. Now Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala mentions the hukm, the ruling of at-tayammum, that if you are ill on a journey or have relieved yourselves or been intimate with your wives and cannot find water, then purify yourselves with clean earth, wiping your faces and hands, and Allah is ever pardoning, the most forgiving. Right? So Allah, here Imam Suyuti says, وَإِن كُنْتُم مَرْضَى, if you are sick, مَرَضًا يَضُرُّهُ الْمَاءِ, and he clarifies a sickness that water will harm him. And the person is so sick that if they were to use water, it will cause them harm by causing his condition to become worse, or by increasing the intensity of the fever, or by causing him pain, whatever it may be. بِأَنْ مَرَضًا يَضُرُّهُ الْمَاءِ, right? A sickness that water will harm it. أَوْ عَلَى سَفَنٍ, or you're on a journey, you're traveling. أي مُسَافِرِينَ وَأَنْتُمْ جُنُبٌ أَوْ مُحْدِثُونَ, meaning you're traveling, and on your journey, on your travel, you are in a state of major ritual impurity or minor ritual impurity. أَوْ جَاءَ أَحَدٌ مِّنكُم مِّنَ الْغَائِطِ, or one of you comes back from the غائط. Right? One of you comes back after relieving himself. أَوْ جَاءَ أَحَدٌ مِّنكُم مِّنَ الْغَائِطِ هُوَ الْمَكَانُ الْمُعَدُّ لِقَضَاءِ الْحَاجَةِ. The غائط, the word غائط, is the name of a place that is prepared, that has been prepared or set up to relieve oneself. Right? قضاء الحاجة, to fulfill the need, meaning relieve oneself, to answer the call of nature. أي أحدث, and what that means is a person is in the state of minor ritual impurity. أو لامستم النساء, right? أو لامستم النساء, وفي قراءة بلا ألف. Right? In another قراءة, it's from the verb لمس, أو لمستم النساء. Right? وكلاهما بمعنى, Imam Suyuti says both of these mean the same thing. لامستم, لامس, and لمس means to touch. Whereas the Hanafi say لمس means to touch, but لامس means جماع, means intimacy. And because of that slight difference of interpretation, the rulings differ as well. So أو لامستم النساء وفي قراءة بلا ألف وكلاهما بمعنى من اللمس. Right, it comes from the word لمس, وهو الجس باليد, and that is to touch with the hand. وقال ابن عمر, that is the statement of Ibn Umar radiallahu anhuma, وعليه الشافعي, and that is the position of Imam al-Shafi'i, that لامست means لمس, means to touch. وألحق به الجس بباقي البشرة, and he attaches to it touching with the remaining part of the skin as well. And not just the touching with the hand, but touching with any part of the body. وعن ابن عباس, and from Ibn Abbas radiallahu anhuma, it means al-jima', it means intercourse. فَلَمْ تَجِدُوا مَاءً, and you don't find water. So that is connected to all three, that you're sick, or you are traveling, or you relieved yourself, you answered the call of nature, or you're in a state of major ritual impurity because you had intimate relations, or according to Imam Shafi'i, minor ritual impurity because you broke your wudu by touching the opposite gender. Right? Then he says, فَلَمْ تَجِدُوا مَاءً, and you don't find water. Right? تَتَطَهَّرُونَ بِهِ لِلصَّلَاةِ بَعْدَ الطَّلَبِ وَالتَّفْتِيشِ, to purify yourselves with for prayer after seeking and searching. وَهُوَ رَاجِعٌ إِلَى مَا عَدَى الْمَرْضَى, and then Imam Suyuti says that this فَلَمْ تَجِدُوا مَاءً, it goes back to all those things except for being sick. Because when you're sick, water might be there, but you're unable to use it because you're sick. But you don't have to say that. You can say it goes back as referring to all of them. Because tajidu ma, it doesn't have to be like physical. It means you don't have the ability to use water. You're unable to use water either because you physically can't or because it's unavailable. Right? فَتَيَمَّمُوا, in that case, perform tayammum. Right? Purify yourselves doing tayammum, يعني اقصدوا بعد دخول الوقت. Right? يعني intend to do tayammum after the time enters. And again, that's according to Imam al-Shafi'i, rahimahullah, that tayammum will last for that time period. Whereas the Hanafi say that once you do tayammum, it's a complete replacement for wudu and ghusl. صَعِيدًا طَيِّبًا. Right? Perform tayammum, purify yourselves with صَعِيدًا طَيِّبًا, with pure dirt or clean earth. Right? Pure earth. تُرَابًا طَاهِرًا. Right? Pure dirt. فَاضْرِبُوا بِهِ ضَرْبَتَيْنِ. Right? Strike that dirt twice. One strike and you wipe your face, and the other strike you wipe your arms up to your elbows. فَامْسَحُوا بِوُجُوهِكُمْ, and wipe your faces, وَأَيْدِيكُمْ إِلَى الْمَرَافِقِ, and your arms up to your elbows. وَأَيْدِيكُمْ إِلَى الْمِرْفَقَيْنِ مِنْ. وَمَسَحَ, he says the verb مَسَحَ يَتَعَدَّى بِنَفْسِهِ وَبِالْحَرْفِ. Right? It is a transitive verb, and it can be transitive by itself or by using a harf, like the harful jar here. فَامْسَحُوا بِوُجُوهِكُمْ. It can also just be إِمْسَحُوا وُجُوهَكُمْ. No problem. Right? The verb masaha can be transitive used by itself or by using a particle with it. إِنَّ اللَّهَ كَانَ عَفُوًّا غَفُورًا. Truly Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala is ever pardoning, all forgiving. So this particular verse is the verse that establishes the legality and the legislated nature of performing tayammum. And again, when a person is either unable to use water or they don't have access to water, and they are in the state of major ritual impurity or minor ritual impurity, they can do tayammum. Right? They can perform tayammum, and tayammum again is to strike sa'idan tayyiba, pure dirt, the ground twice. After one strike, you wipe your entire face, and after the other strike, you will wipe your arm up to and including your elbows, and then you will be pure. And in that state of purity, you can pray and recite Quran and etc. Now, read the last paragraph for us, Bismillah, on this page.
قال رحمه الله: ألم تر إلى الذين أوتوا نصيبا حظا من الكتاب وهم اليهود يشترون الضلالة بالهدى ويريدون أن تضلوا السبيل تخطئوا طريق الحق لتكونوا مثلهم والله أعلم بأعدائكم منكم فيخبركم بهم لتجتنبوهم وكفى بالله وليا حافظا لكم منهم وكفى بالله نصيرا مانعا لكم من كيدهم.
And Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala says, أَلَمْ تَرَ إِلَى الَّذِينَ أُوتُوا نَصِيبًا مِنَ الْكِتَابِ يَشْتَرُونَ الضَّلَالَ وَيُرِيدُونَ أَن تَضِلُّوا السَّبِيلَ. Have you not seen those who were given a portion of the scriptures, yet trade it for misguidance, and wish to see you deviate from the path? Have you not observed those who have been given a share from the book? They buy misguidance and wish that you too lose the way. So this is addressing the Prophet ﷺ, and by extension the companions, and by extension all the believers. أَلَمْ تَرَ إِلَى الَّذِينَ أُوتُوا نَصِيبًا حَظًّا مِنَ الْكِتَابِ. Have you not seen those who have been given a portion, a share of the book, of the scripture? وَهُمُ الْيَهُودِ. Imam al-Suyuti rahimahullah clarifies this is referring to the Yahud. يَشْتَرُونَ الضَّلَالَ. They purchase misguidance. They buy misguidance بالهدى, by giving up guidance, by paying guidance. وَيُرِيدُونَ أَن تَضِلُّوا السَّبِيلَ. And they want you to be misguided as well. They want you to lose the way as well. تُخْطِئُوا طَرِيقَ الْحَقِّ. Right? They want you to lose the path of the truth. لِتَكُونُوا مِثْلَهُمْ. So you can be just like them. وَاللَّهُ أَعْلَمُ بِأَعْدَائِكُمْ. Allah knows best who your enemies are. Allah knows your enemies very well. وَكَفَى بِاللَّهِ وَلِيًّا وَكَفَى بِاللَّهِ نَصِيرًا. Allah is enough as a guardian, and He is sufficient as a helper. Allah is sufficient as a guardian, and He is sufficient as a helper. So وَاللَّهُ أَعْلَمُ بِأَعْدَائِكُمْ مِنْكُمْ. Right? Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala knows best who your enemies are, minkum, more than you. فَيُخْبِرُكُمْ بِهِمْ. And He will inform you about them, لِتَجْتَنِبُوهُمْ, so that you can avoid them, that you can stay away from them. وَكَفَى بِاللَّهِ وَلِيًّا. And Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala is sufficient as a guardian and protector. حَافِظًا لَكُمْ مِنْهُمْ, as a protector for you against them. وَكَفَى بِاللَّهِ نَصِيرًا. And Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala is sufficient as a supporter, as a helper. مَانِعًا لَكُمْ مِنْ كَيْدِهِمْ. Right? He will prevent you from their plots and their plans and their tricks. So this is a good place for us to stop today because we have reached the end of this page. Alhamdulillah, we reached to the end of verse number 45. So inshallah tomorrow we'll pick up with verse number 46. May Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala accept this effort of ours. May He place it on our scale of good deeds on the Day of Judgment. We ask Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala to make us all amongst the people of the Quran, to make the Quran a proof for us and not a proof against us, to fill our hearts with the Quran, and to give all of us the tawfiq and ability to not only understand the divine words of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, but to implement them into our daily lives as well. وصلى اللهم على نبينا مولانا محمد وعلى آله وصحبه وسلم. جزاكم الله خيرا والسلام عليكم ورحمة الله وبركاته.